Welcome to the magical community who is reading the entire Bible and the Apocrypha and the Pseudepigrapha and deconstructing from Christianity, owning our sovereignty and magic. If that sounds good to you, come on in, take a seat. This is where you belong. Like you wouldn't have happened upon this video if this wasn't for you. So, how you loving? How you loving? How you loving? I'm Reverend Valerie Love, also known as Kaisi, author of 26 books on practical spirituality, Christian witchcraft, and the occult. Please use practical spirituality, I call it. So you can find it all at valerielove.com. We're in the book of Exodus, and family, guess what? We are about to finish. We are about to complete the book of Exodus today. Let's look at something delicious, shall we? We are going to go to valerielove.com/Bible. valerielove.com/Bible. And let's just look at what we have completed because we are honoring our commitment and about to add another name to the list today. We are taking names. We're taking names. Not prisoners, names. We don't take prisoners. Here at valerielove.com/Bible, I'll drop it in the chat for you. Do share this with anyone and everyone whom you know is deconstructing from Christianity or owning their sovereignty or magic or on the spiritual path. They may love it. They just may love it. We're reading the entire Bible. And if you scroll down, it shows you all about us reading the entire Bible and my book, The Real God Is Not in the Bible. And here are the books we have completed. Genesis from the Bible canon, the books of Adam and Eve from the Pseudepigrapha, the life of Adam and Eve, Pseudepigrapha, Life of Adam and Eve, aka the Apocalypse of Moses from the Pseudepigrapha, the Apocalypse of Adam, the Book of Adam, 1 Enoch, the Book of the Secrets of Enoch, aka Enoch 2, and 3rd Enoch. And today we have the honor of completing our next book, Exodus. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Come on in. Oh, thank you so much. Love the butterfly earrings. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, along with me, created by AI, is Moses, aka Gandalf, with his magic staff. Let's go. We are completing the book of Exodus today. We read and then we have commentary. Exodus 38 through 40. We are reading from the World English Bible. If you have never read the entire Bible before, join us. This is your opportunity to read the entire Bible and the Apocrypha and parts of the Pseudepigrapha. He made the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood. It was square. Its length was 5 cubits. Its width was 5 cubits. And its height was 3 cubits. He made its horns on its 4 corners. Its horns were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with bronze. He made all the vessels of the altar, the pots, the shovels, the basins, the forks, and the fire pans. He made all its vessels of bronze. He made for the altar a grating of a network of bronze under the ledge around it beneath, reaching halfway up. He cast 4 rings for the 4 corners of bronze grating to be places for the poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He put the poles into the rings on the sides of the altar with which to carry it. He made it hollow with planks. He made the basin of bronze and its base of bronze out of the mirrors of the ministering women who ministered at the door of the tent of meeting. He made the court. For the south side, southward, the hangings of the court were of fine twined linen, 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets 20, of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. For the north side, 100 cubits, their pillars 20, and their sockets 20, of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the west side were hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the east side, eastward, 50 cubits. The hangings for the one side were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And so for the other side, on this hand and that hand, by the gate of the court were hangings of 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. All the hangings around the court were of fine twined linen. The sockets for the pillars were of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. Their capitals were overlaid with silver. All the pillars of the court had silver bands. The screen for the gate of the court was the work of the embroiderer, of blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen. 20 cubits was the length, and the height along the width was 5 cubits, like the hangings of the court. Their pillars were 4, and their sockets 4, of bronze, their hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their capitals and their fillets of silver. All the pins of the tabernacle and around the court were of bronze. These are the amounts of materials used for the tabernacle, even the tabernacle of the testimony, as they were counted, according to the commandment of Moses, for the service of the Levites, by the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest, for the service of the Levites. Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that Yahweh commanded Moses. With him was Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a skillful workman, and an embroiderer in blue, in purple, in scarlet, and in fine linen. All the gold that was used for the work and all the work of the sanctuary, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents and 730 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The silver of those who were counted of the congregation was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. A beka a head, that is half a shekel, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone who passed over to those who were counted from 20 years old and upward, for 603,550 men. The 100 talents of silver were for casting the sockets of the sanctuary and the sockets of the veil. 100 sockets for the 100 talents, 1 talent per socket. From the 1,775 shekels, he made hooks for the pillars, overlaid their capitals, and made fillets for them. The bronze of the offering was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. With this, he made the sockets to the door of the tent of meeting, the bronze altar, the bronze grating for it, all the vessels of the altar, the sockets around the court, the sockets of the gate of the court, all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins around the court. Footnotes. Exodus chapter 31, verse 38, verse 1. A cubit is the length from the tip of the middle finger to the elbow on a man's arm, or about 18 inches or 46 centimeters. Verse 24, a talent is about 30 kilograms or 66 pounds or 965 troy ounces. Verse 24, a shekel is about 10 grams or about 0.32 troy ounces. Verse 25, a talent is about 30 kilograms or 66 pounds. Verse 25, a shekel is about 10 grams or about 0.35 ounces. Verse 26, a beka is about 5 grams or about 0.175 ounces. Verse 26, a shekel is about 10 grams or about 0.35 ounces. Verse 27, a talent is about 30 kilograms or 66 pounds. Verse 28, a shekel is about 10 grams or about 0.35 ounces. So 1,775 shekels is about 17.75 kilograms or about 39 pounds. Verse 29, a talent is about 30 kilograms or 66 pounds. Verse 29, 70 talents plus 2,400 shekels is about 2,124 kilograms or 2.124 metric tons. You're telling me they had 2 tons of gold out there? Tons? After Moses just made them eat the gold smoothies the other day, drink the golden water the other day. Chapter 39. Of the blue, purple, and scarlet, they made finely worked garments for ministering in the holy place, and made the holy garments for Aaron as Yahweh commanded Moses. He made the ephod of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen. They beat the gold into thin plates and cut it into wires to work it in with the blue, the purple, the scarlet, and the fine linen, the work of the skillful workmen. They made shoulder straps for it joined together. It was joined together at the 2 ends. The skillfully woven band that was on it, with which to fasten it on, was of the same piece, like its work, of gold, of blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen, as Yahweh commanded Moses. They worked the onyx stones, enclosed in settings of gold, engraved with the engravings of a signet, according to the names of the children of Israel. He put them on the shoulder straps of the ephod to be stones of memorial for the children of Israel, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He made the breastplate, the work of a skillful workman, like the work of the ephod, of gold, of blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen. It was square. They made the breastplate double. Its length was a span, and its width a span, being double. They set in it 4 rows of stone, a row of ruby, topaz, and beryl was the first row, and the second row are turquoise, a sapphire, and an emerald, and the third row a hyacinth, an agate, and an amethyst, and the fourth row a chrysolite, an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in gold settings. Stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one according to his name, for the 12 tribes. They made on the breastplate chains like cords of braided work of pure gold. They made 2 settings of gold and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. They put the 2 braided chains of gold in the 2 rings at the ends of the breastplate. The other 2 ends of the 2 braided chains, they put on the 2 settings and put them on the shoulder straps of the ephod in its front. They made 2 rings of gold and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate on its edge, which was toward the side of the ephod inward. They made 2 more rings of gold and put them on the 2 shoulder straps of the ephod underneath in its front, close by its coupling, above the skillfully woven band of the ephod. They bound the breastplate by its rings to the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it may be on the skillfully woven band of the ephod, and that the breastplate may not come loose from the ephod, as Yahweh commanded Moses. Skillfully woven, I said, skillfully woven. He made the robe of the ephod of woven work all of blue. The opening of the robe in the middle of it was like the opening of a coat of mail, with a binding around its opening that it should not be torn. They made on the skirts of the robe pomegranates of blue, purple, scarlet, and twined linen. They made bells of pure gold and put the bells between the pomegranates around the skirts of the robe. Between the pomegranates, a bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate around the skirts of the robe to minister in, as Yahweh commanded Moses. They made the tunics of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and for his sons, the turban of fine linen, the linen headbands of fine linen, the linen trousers of fine twined linen, the sash of fine twined linen, blue, purple, and scarlet, the work of the embroiderer, as Yahweh commanded Moses. They made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold and wrote on it an inscription like the engravings of a signet, holy to Yahweh. They tied it, they tied to it a lace of blue to fasten it on the turban above, as Yahweh commanded Moses. Thus all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting was finished. The children of Israel did according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses, so they did. They brought the tabernacle to Moses, the tent with all its furniture, its clasps, its boards, its bars, its pillars, its sockets, the covering of rams' skins dyed red, the covering of sea cow hides, the veil of the screen, the ark of the covenant with its poles, the mercy seat, the table, all its vessels, the showbread, the pure lampstand, its lamps, even the lamps to be set in order, all its vessels, the oil for the light, the golden altar, the anointing oil, the sweet incense, the screen for the door of the tent, the bronze altar, its grating of bronze, its poles, all of its vessels, the basin and its base, the hangings of the court, its pillars, its sockets, the screen for the gate of the court, its cords, its pins, and all the instruments of the service of the tabernacle for the tent of meeting, the finely worked garments for ministering in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office. Phew. According to all that Yahweh commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did all the work. Moses saw all the work, and behold, they had done it as Yahweh had commanded. They had done so, and Moses blessed them. Footnotes to Exodus chapter 39, verse 9. A span is the length from the tip of a man's thumb to the tip of his little finger when his hand is stretched out, about half a cubit or 9 inches or 22.8 centimeters. Verse 11, with regard to the crystals or lapis lazuli. In verse 11, the crystal referred to, I believe, is a sapphire, this sacred stone. Sapphire, many times in the Bible, is actually lapis lazuli or lapis lazuli, however you desire to pronounce it. It is a gorgeous blue stone with striations in it. Exodus chapter 40. Behold, we have reached the final chapter in the book of Exodus. Drama on drama. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, on the first day of the first month, you shall raise up the tabernacle of the tent of meeting. You shall put the ark of the covenant in it, and you shall screen the ark with the veil. You shall bring in the table and set in order the things that are on it. You shall bring in the lampstand and light its lamps. You shall set the golden altar for incense before the ark of the covenant and put the screen of the door to the tabernacle. You shall set the altar of burnt offering before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting. You shall set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and shall put water therein. You shall set up the court around it, and hang up the screen of the gate of the court. You shall take the anointing oil, and anoint the tabernacle, and all that is in it, and shall make it holy, and all its furniture, and it will be holy. You shall anoint the altar of burnt offering with all its vessels, and sanctify the altar, and the altar will be most holy. You shall anoint the basin and its base, and sanctify it. You shall bring Aaron and his sons to the door of the tent of meeting, and shall wash them with water. You shall put on Aaron the holy garments, and you shall anoint him and sanctify him, that he may minister to me in the priest's office. You shall bring his sons and put tunics on them. You shall anoint them as you anointed their father, that they may minister to me in the priest's office. Their anointing shall be to them for an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. Moses did so, according to all that Yahweh commanded him, so he did. In the first month, in the second year, on the first day of the month, the tabernacle was raised up. Moses raised up the tabernacle and laid its sockets and set up its boards and put in its bars and raised up its pillars. He spread the covering over the tent and put the roof of the tabernacle above on it as Yahweh commanded Moses. He took and put the covenant into the ark and set the poles on the ark and put the mercy seat above on the ark. He brought the ark into the tabernacle and set up the veil of the screen and screened the ark of the covenant as Yahweh commanded Moses. He put the table in the tent of meeting on the north side of the tabernacle outside of the veil. He set the bread in order on it before Yahweh as Yahweh commanded Moses. He put the lampstand in the tent of meeting opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle. He lit the lamps before Yahweh as Yahweh commanded Moses. He put the golden altar in the tent of meeting before the veil, and he burned incense of sweet spices on it as Yahweh commanded Moses. He put the screen of the door to the tabernacle. He set the altar of burnt offering at the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and offered on it the burnt offering and the meal offering, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water therein with which to wash. Moses, Aaron, and his sons washed their hands and their feet there. When they went into the tent of meeting, and when they came near to the altar, they washed, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He raised up the court around the tabernacle and the altar, and set up the screen of the gate of the court. So Moses finished the work. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and Yahweh's glory filled the tabernacle. Moses wasn't able to enter into the tent of meeting because the cloud stayed on it, and Yahweh's glory filled the temple. When the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward throughout all their journeys. But if the cloud wasn't taken up, then they didn't travel until the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of Yahweh was on the tabernacle by day, and there was fire in the cloud by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys. And that, boys and girls, is the story of the book of Exodus. If you came here for the reading of the Bible, there you have it. And if you are continuing with us into the commentary, let's get into that right now. First of all, stop letting these raggedy A Christians tell you that you're not supposed to use crystals when there's crystals upon crystals upon crystals upon crystals upon crystals in the Bible. They're not reading their own book, because not only are they in Exodus, they're all over Revelation as well. We just did a 12-gate destiny activation ritual using the 12 crystals from Revelation chapter 21, verses 12 through 21. Crystals are all over the Bible, and you are able to do crystal magic. So why, if you have a chrysolite, which is right in the Bible, do they say, oh, you got a problem? Why, when you have a lapis lazuli, oh, you worshiping rocks? Christians, stop being so ignorant, especially when it's in your own book. That's the first thing. Next. Next. Let's next go to all the work they did. We're going to wrap up all this work because they did all this work. They did all this work. Now, why did they do all this work when Yahweh can give Moses the power to snap, flies come everywhere? He can give Moses the power through his wand, snap, all the water turns to blood. The water in the river, the water in basins, doesn't matter where the water is, it turns to blood. You snap and you parted an entire Red Sea, and all the Israelites walked through, 1.5 million, 2 million people. Yet you actually have to work to build these other things. Why isn't Moses using his magic wand when it matters the most? We need to now make a whole tabernacle in the wilderness. Why aren't you just zapping things into place, Moses? You got to sit there and take notes of the schematics. It turns so mechanical. It was so magical, and then it became very mechanical. Do we notice that the whole energy of the thing turned from being magical? The wand, the staff, all of the magic and the serpents and the Egyptians, magicians. It was a magic battle like Harry Potter. And then it turned mechanical. You have to get this cubits and this cubits and this cubits and this shekel and this shekel and this gold, and put a hook here and a line there and a bar here, acacia wood, and it is. You can tell this was written by different people, thinking different things in different places, having different life experiences, because this is not coherent. We've been saying for for a very long time, that the Bible's not coherent. I'm not the first person to see that the Bible's not coherent. You have seen for yourself that the Bible's not coherent. People have been saying this for thousands of years, that the Bible is not coherent. Where did all these writings come from? We don't know, yet we have different hypotheses to put forth an answer as to why these books are so different, even within the book. Now, there's another thing I want to say. As Reverend Evelyn said in one of her comments the other day, this was a very interesting comment. Christianity did make a major error by appending the Hebrew Bible to their book. That was a major error. Christianity made an enormous problem for themselves by inheriting the Jewish holy book, taking that holy book, which they did not. Many Christians do not know the holy book of the Hebrews, like Jewish people do, of course. It's their book. And appending it to the Gospels, quote unquote, Paul's writings. We'll get to what Paul wrote, what he didn't, if Paul even existed, when we get to that portion of the Bible. Yet, they made a big problem for themselves, because now you have 66, or according to 70 some odd books in the canon of the Catholic Church, 88 books in the canon of the Ethiopian Bible. You have to now make all of these things match, align, be coherent. And you've got to come up with so many stories and perform mental gymnastics to justify why the text says different things, is not internally coherent, and is not aligned from front to end, like you're writing one contiguous story, because you are not reading, not writing, reading, because you are not reading one contiguous story. You are reading many writings from many people, different locations, thinking different things with different agendas as to why they wrote it. Some of it is political propaganda. Some of it is ancient sky people stories. Some of it is what they want the people to do. Some of it is polemics against what other people are doing. Some of it are stories that never happened. We're about to read in the Apocrypha soon about a dragon. Daniel killed a dragon. They didn't put that part in the Bible. I mean, it's got all the things that you want in a great epic fantasy, like Homer, which I have right here. This is why I love Homer. This is why I love Homer. The Iliad and the Odyssey. Can you see that? The Iliad and the Odyssey. Because this to me, this in the Bible, same thing. Ancient literature. Ancient literature. We don't need to know if it's true or not. We don't need to know if it's historical or not. It's literature. Is anyone asking, is everything in the Iliad and Odyssey factual? Well, the city of Troy, they did find it later, even though people didn't think that the city of Troy actually existed. They thought it was all made up by Homer. Yet there was an actual city of Troy. Now, did everything happen like it says in the Iliad and the Odyssey in the city of Troy? Probably not. These are stories. These are stories. And every story has a purpose. Some of the stories, their purpose is to get the people on side to do what they want them to do. Some of the stories are to teach how bad all the other people are around them. Some of the stories are origin stories. This is where we came from, and you should be proud of it. Some of the stories are God likes us best. And here's proof that God likes us best. Over all the other people, which is not in alignment with Genesis, because in Genesis chapter 1, let's go back to the original, God created all the humans and said it was good. Then he changed his mind because Genesis quickly turns into a shit show. I mean, it right away, as soon as God makes the creations, here comes a serpent. The kids ain't even, I don't even know if they were a week or two old. How old were Adam and Eve? A week or two? I don't know. They never existed in that way that the Genesis talks about. Yet, right away, you got a serpent coming in. Where did the serpent come from? And why does the serpent have a different idea than what the God told them? And then the God is talking to and the God has to ask some questions and interrogate them because the God doesn't know what happened. Who told you were naked? Well, there was a serpent over here. A serpent. Where did he come from? Like the story gets crazy fast. And then, I don't know, angels, they have a big rebellion in heaven. God can't make beings that even pay him the least bit of attention, because not only are his earthly kids not paying him the least bit of attention, his heavenly kids ain't paying him the least bit of attention either, because a couple of them said, well, I'm not going to do everything he says. I'm going to, and then they're thrown down, and then they have sex with the women, and then giants, and then, oh damn, I gotta clean up this whole planet. Y'all are just a mess. Let me see. How can I kill all these people? How can I unalive all these people? I know I'll bring a flood. Oh well, wait a minute. I can't kill everybody. I do kind of like this guy over here, Noah, with his little wife and the kids. I mean, let me get them to restart the human race because this is crazy. Well, you made it, God. Do you think if you had children in your home, you would have let them do what happened in Genesis? In your family, if you and your boo had two kids, a boy and a girl, do you think you would have let your household got as crazy as Genesis got in the first few chapters? Come on now. So, if supposedly God made everyone. Why is God playing favorites later? If God told Noah and made a covenant with Noah, and supposedly the whole human race came from Noah's three sons and their three wives, because there were no other people on the planet, according to this harebrained story. It's not even genetically possible. Genetics, ask any biologist, is it possible for 8 billion people to come from, first of all, one man and one woman? Absolutely not. It doesn't have enough variety in the gene pool to survive past the sixth generation. I mean, any biologist will tell you that. That's not how genes work. You can just make all the billions of people from two people. That's not even scientific. So supposedly Noah now has a new covenant. Okay, here's another covenant. Okay, I promise you, I'm not going to kill y'all by water anymore. But I never said I wouldn't kill you by fire. God, yeah, I got to bring the end of the earth again. Oh my God, when? I won't tell you. Nobody knows the day or hour. Not even my son, my bestie, my firstborn son that I love so much. But I'm going to kill him too. Who can love this God? There you go, right? The God of the Bible is a psychopath. That sums it right on up. That sums it right on up, right? Okay, let's go further. So after he destroys the whole world, supposedly, other than these 8 people, and now he makes a new covenant that he's not going to destroy the world by water again. He see the rainbow in the cloud. That's going to be my promise. I'm never going to kill y'all by water again. But that was pretty bad. I even scared myself on that one. Okay, so supposedly there is some kind of covenant with Noah, and Noah is supposed to be the family, the father of the entire human race. But now supposedly they made up that one of these children is cursed and the other two are not. And then you get all the way down to Abraham. Now he's the one with the covenant. Abraham probably never existed as the Bible describes. And then you have just Abraham's people. And then on and on. 12 tribes of Israel. Let's get to the 12 tribes of Israel. Where is the love, right, Felicia? Can anyone tell me? Here's another shocker. We already talked about no such thing as the 10 commandments. No such thing. It's 3 different versions, and it's not even 10. 10 is more like a symbol. So people are saying all these 10 commandments and they keep showing them to you in school, little nursery schools for the little, Bibles people in church and all that. And in the Jehovah's Witness thing too, they had the little 10 commandments and thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. No such thing as 10. At least in Egypt, they had it clear how many there were, and they were the same everywhere all over Egypt, the 42 laws of Ma'at, which was circulating in the consciousness of all the people. Are you living Ma'at? And the king or the ruler, the pharaoh, his whole job as a child of the gods was to be sure that he was living Ma'at and that all the kingdom, all of his domain was living Ma'at. What is Ma'at? Ma'at is symbolized as a goddess, and Ma'at is cosmic order, truth, rightness, uprightness. Cosmic order is your shit in order. That's all Ma'at. It's a powerful cosmic symbol of order. What's right? What's uprightness? Uprightness not in a moral code, uprightness as in that which is aligned with the highest laws of the universe. It's not about morality. So we already busted up the 10 commandments. Now, please tell me, who are the 12 tribes of Israel? Because the Bible's got different versions of those too. Let's go ask the AI. Let's go ask our little friend, Chat GPT. Because if anyone can name for us the 12 tribes of Israel, Mm, you're going to get an award because we don't know from the Bible. We can't tell. Okay, let's look at now who they keep talking about when they're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. Ready when you are. Thank you, ChatGPT. Hi, Mercurius. I would like to know the different versions of the 12 tribes of Israel and why they exist. Oh, yeah, why the differences exist, pardon me, according to critical biblical scholarship and not apologetics. So let's get the different 12 tribes of Israel. Which 12 are we talking about? Which 12 are we talking about? The core issue. There is no single canonical list of the 12 tribes. Take that in. Wait a minute. There's no such thing as Adam and Eve. God's not in the Bible. There are no angels in the Bible. The 10 Commandments ain't 10, and there's different lists, 3 different versions of, and only one place does it say the 10 words, the Decalogue. We kind of made up the 10 Commandments. People made up the 10 Commandments along the way. And now you're telling me that there is no solid list. There's no canonical list of the 12 tribes. Who are the 12 tribes? Who are we talking about? Because he put a name on each crystal according to the 12 tribes of Israel on the breastplate on the ephod. Well, what 12 are we talking about? Instead, we find multiple versions with different names, included, excluded, different counts, sometimes technically 13, then adjusted back to 12, different ideological purposes. Major versions of the 10 tribes, Genesis chapter 29 through 30 and 35. We saw that. We read that. Sons of Jacob. Here's the list. Let's get you the different lists. Here's the list in Genesis. Got it? Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's the list in Genesis. Okay, let's keep going. As the baseline list, maybe, Jacob had 12 sons. That's pretty neat and tidy that he had exactly 12 sons, considering that the Bible reiterates 12 over and over and over again. It's an astrological number. It's from the 12 constellations. It's astrology. That's why the names differ. 12. 12, 12, 12 is recurring in the Bible. It's astrology. Numbers. Chapter 1 gives a different list. This is the military census list. Take a picture of that one. It's different. Still 12. It's a different 12. Levi is excluded. Joseph is split into Ephraim and Manasseh. Still totals 12, but through substitution. Okay, Deuteronomy 33. It's a different list. The list includes, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Is that 11? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Oh, that's interesting. Reuben, Judah, Levi, Benjamin, Joseph. They kind of are saying Joseph is 2, Ephraim and Manasseh, his sons. Zebulun, Issachar, Gad, Dad, Naphtali, as according to, I've heard Hebrew people say, Jewish people say Naphtali. In Christian churches, you hear them say Naphtali. Asher. Simeon is missing. This omission is extremely important to scholars. Okay, we got another version. Joshua chapter 13, verse 19. 12 territorial units maintained by adjusting the list. Levi gets no land. Joseph becomes Ephraim and Manasseh. Ezekiel. Okay, Ezekiel. List includes, here we go. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. First Chronicles. This is a post-exilic rewrite, emphasizing Judah, the royal line, and Levi, the priesthood. This tribal structure is reshaped to support Second Temple identity. These are ideological. No such thing as the 12 tribes. Revelation chapter 7, New Testament reinterpretation. Man, we love the 12 tribes. We just keep reworking the 12 tribes over and over and over again. Dan is missing from this list. There's the list. You're seeing about 4 or 5 or 6 different lists. Not symbolical, highly symbolic, not historical. Highly symbolic, not historical. Why do these differences exist? Good question. Why do these differences exist? Okay, this is what the critical scholars Julius Wellhausen, Israel Finkelstein, Thomas Romer generally agree on this. Those are 3 Bible scholars you can look up right there. The number 12 is symbolic, not historical. 12 represents completeness and cosmic order. Compared to 12 months, 12 zodiac signs, 12, 12, 12. The tradition forces the number to stay 12, even if reality doesn't match. Sometimes we have 11, sometimes we have 13. We're going to say 12. We're always going to say 12 because the tradition is 12. It is, as I stated, from my understanding, it's astrological. Tribes were political territorial groups. Tribes were originally regional clans or settlements, not literal descendants of one man. The genealogy of Jacob's sons is a retroactive myth of unity. Do you see this? After the fact, when they already had people scattered all over, groups, this group here, this group here, this group here, how can we make a story that explains this? Well, let's go all the way back in our lineage and say that one of our people had 12 sons. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do it. Not knowing that they were writing a Bible. They didn't know people would come along thousands of years later and say, this is God's word. They didn't know that when they were writing it. They were coming up with their own origin story, writing some great literature. Some tribes disappeared or were absorbed. Priestly politics. Ooh, tribe of Levi often excluded because they don't fight or own land, or included because they assert priestly authority. Maybe Levites weren't priests at all. Maybe they were simply peace-loving, magical, practicing people living on the land, and they wouldn't fight and they wouldn't own land. Maybe they were early Essenes. Maybe they were just the outliers, and they put in the story, we'll call them the priests. Joseph split into 2, Ephraim and Manasseh. Northern power, a territorial. This is a political geography, not genealogy. Northern versus Southern bias. Northern kingdom of 2 tribes, I believe, in the north, tribes of Judah and 10 tribe kingdom in the south and 2 tribe kingdom in the north. Is that how it went? Yeah, the southern kingdom was all about Judah, northern kingdom all about Israel. The northern kingdom is about Ephraim, the southern kingdom is about Judah. However, did we really have 2 major kingdoms? That's another question. Texts were written over centuries. We already know that part about the documentary hypothesis. The big takeaway from a critical perspective. The 12 tribes of Israel is not a fixed historical reality. It is a theological, symbolic framework imposed on shifting populations. It's a map of identity, a deeper, almost mystical reading because it knows that I love mystical and occult meanings of the Bible and esoteric science. Given your work, this may resonate. The tribes function like archetypal divisions of a sacred whole. I like that. 12 constellations, a way of organizing divine human order. Their fluidity, yeah, they are very fluid, just like the 10 Commandments is fluid, just like the whole Bible is fluid. So which one do you want us to follow? Israel was never a static identity. It was an evolving construct of meaning, power, and myth. Think about that. Think about that and our current situation in the Middle East. Think about that. Reflect on that. Meditate on that. Okay? So there you have it. No 12 tribes of Israel. We can throw that one out too. We can dismiss that. We can let go of that. We can throw that one out along with Ten Commandments. Ten Commandments is wonderful. I like it. It's a nice idea. It's a nice idea. Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't kill people. I agree. You shouldn't lie. I agree. Yeah, honor your mother and father. I always knew the Ten Commandments were a derivative, a condensation, a scaled down version of the 42 laws of Ma'at. I always knew that in here from the second I first laid my peepers on the 42 laws of Ma'at. I was like, oh, they done stole some of these and put them in the Ten Commandments. That was before I even did any research on it. What are the 42 laws of Ma'at, you may say? Simple to find. I have it. Where are my 42 laws of Ma'at? I have to scroll. Let me think of where I have it. Where are my 40? Let me see if I can pull it up for you. I'm going to pull it up on screen share. Let's now go to the 42 laws of Ma'at. We're going to make this real simple. I'm not going to dig around and try to find my Ma'at laws. The 42 laws of Ma'at, not of power, images. Okay, here's some of the images of the 42 laws of Ma'at. Actually, ooh, sheesh, that looks a little crazy. I don't like that one. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we can get this one right here. 42 laws of Ma'at. If you look it up, you will see the 42 laws of Ma'at. And to give you an example of the 42 laws of Ma'at, let's give you some. There it is. They're negative confessions. I have not committed sin. I have not stolen. I have not slain men or women. I have not told lies. I have not stolen food. I have not committed adultery. I have not made anyone cry. I have not cursed. I have not behaved with violence. I have not polluted the waters. It goes on to say that I have not polluted a temple. I have not coveted. I have not. And how were the 42 laws of Ma'at used? What was the context of the 42 laws of Ma'at? What was the situation? The 42 laws of Ma'at were stated at night before you go to bed. It was as if you were taking a reckoning of yourself daily and what you did. You know how they say nighttime prayers? I have not stolen. I have not. It's like a purification, it's like a cleansing. And it states that you have not done these things. Therefore, you can lay in bed at night and be clean and pure and know that you are working toward having that heart light as a feather so that when you pass out of your carnal representation, that your heart is weighed on the scales of Ma'at, and the feather, your heart is lighter than a feather. Your heart is light as a feather because you've cleansed your spirit every night. You took account of your deeds. I didn't pollute the water. I didn't make people cry. I didn't lie. I didn't steal. I didn't covet. I didn't. It's a confession to clean one's soul. Right? Yes, Reverend Evelyn. 42 Laws of Ma'at are more about personal accountability than the Ten Commandments. Absolutely. You get to take an assessment of yourself every night. How you loving? How you living? What are you doing? Are you just traipsing about this place being a crazy person? Or are you living by some kind of code? And the people knew the 42 laws of Ma'at, and the Pharaoh knew the 42 laws of Ma'at. And we live by them. as best we can. Of course, there's corruption and there's, of course, people are going to do what they want to do. Yet, don't act like we don't have a standard. Don't act like you don't know the standard. Now, if you don't want to live by the standard, you just want to go out there and be crazy, that's on you. Yet, we do have a standard. Don't act like it's just all willy-nilly. Just go do anything you want to do. I have found the 42 Laws of my Aunt to be one of the most comprehensive, detailed, and powerful alignment tools that you could use. Even to this day. Even to this day, they hold fast through time because they're timeless principles. Now, someone came along not very long ago, I think maybe a few centuries, a few decades ago. Let me get my years straight, a few decades ago. And they came up with the ideals of my aunt, and they turned the negative confessions into positive confessions. Something like, I will not steal. Hold on, let's get the ideals. Hold on. Because the negative confessions are saying, I have not, I have not, I have not, I have not. Okay. So someone came along and rewrote them. I don't go with the rewrite. I like the ancient Egyptian version. Yet use whatever version you like and what works most best for you. Here is a snippet of the ideals of my aunt, which turned the negative confessions into more of it. Here it is. I honor virtue. I am peaceful. I care for the earth. I speak with sincerity. I spread joy. Except for me, some of these are not telling you with specificity exactly what you need to not do. And sometimes I do know that there are certain people that you need to tell them with specificity, don't lie, don't steal, don't kill people. Now, I do recognize that that's not everyone, and everyone is different. And there are levels of people who are able to self moderate. And we grow in self moderation over time as we see that this whole thing is a boomerang and everything you send out, it's coming right back. You begin to moderate yourself better and better the more experience you have in life. When they're young, it's like children. You tell them, don't touch the oven. Hot, hot, hot. Don't touch the socket. Bad. No, no, no. That's what we have to do for the babies. So when you become more and more spiritually mature, you're going to naturally, if you are living my aunt, you are naturally aligned with cosmic order, and people don't have to give you a long list of rules. They don't have to give you do's and don'ts, because your inner mechanism for alignment with cosmic order, cosmic peace, cosmic truth, love, compassion, all the high ideals is fully operative. That's why Jesus wasn't going around doing what you see Yahweh doing. He's a fully realized spiritual being. A fully realized spiritual being, you don't have to tell them don't lie. They have no desire to lie. They're speaking truth. They're living my eye. And then it's not because they're trying. It's because that is the natural unfoldment of a spiritual being. Just natural for you to unfold and evolve as a spiritual being to a very high level, to the point where you wouldn't want to kill. You wouldn't even think of killing something. So have we fully dissected the not 10 commandments? That's what we call them. We could call them the not 10 commandments, the not 12 tribes of Israel. Crystals are in the Bible, and they got 2 tons of gold from where we don't know, maybe from their poop, because after Moses melted down the cow, the golden calf, and pulverized it and sprinkled the dust on the water and made the people drink it, maybe it congealed in their intestines and they pooped it out, and they went through the poop, rinsed it off, and bought all these 2 tons of gold, over 2 tons of gold, to create all of these amazing things in the wilderness that the work of a fine embroiderer. All of a sudden you're a fine embroiderer and you were a slave 10 minutes ago. We have come to the book of Exodus completion. All I can say is thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, that we made it through. Phew. We made it through the book of Exodus because there's a whole lot of unalivings in the book of Exodus. Yet, I cannot say that we're going into friendlier territory because the book of Leviticus, what? Hey, so let me prepare myself, mind and heart and soul, for the book of Leviticus, where they got real slaves, and God is telling them, oh, yeah, you can have as many slaves as you want. What? Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Mwah. Peace.